Welcome to a padlock that was really hard for me to pick open the first time. If you're interested in seeing me struggling with this lock, check out the video here in the upper right corner. Meanwhile, I figured out what the reason was, why it was so difficult, and I think it's a design defect actually that made it so hard. If you're curious to see what I mean, stay tuned. So here's the lock, and the problem that it has is that in chamber 1 and 3 the key pin and the driver are very short. And I think they're actually too short so that the driver fully resides inside the plug and clears the shear line already with the top part. So when I turn the plug, I think the whole driver now has moved along with the plug, and it's impossible to push up the pins, and this is not the feedback that you would get from a spool so that you can feel a plug turning back. It's a definite stop, and there is no chance to get this pin stack up unless you turn back the plug manually a little bit, so you can then push it up a little bit, and now it's loose, and when I push it further you get counter rotation because there is a spool here in number 1, and you can then continue picking the lock. So I can make you a sketch, maybe that's a little bit easier than to understand. Here is the key pin, and let's say here is the driver. So, and usually you would have the shear line somewhere around here, but in this lock I think the shear line is right on top of it, and when you turn the plug a little bit you have the situation that the chamber in the Bible is located here, and if you want to push this up it will stop here and it doesn't work, so you have to turn back the plug manually in order to get this pin stack set. Yeah, I think that's the problem with this lock. Of course, you could try to avoid picking 1 and 3, which have these problems. But first, you would need to note it, and I didn't note it, and I tried to pick it like it was a real spool. And second, you would risk to damage the lock because of mangled springs. Yeah, knowing this, it's not so difficult to pick the lock. You first have to lift all the pins up a little bit, then turn the plug, and then you can start picking the lock regularly. Let me clamp it in a vise and I will show you a picking. So here's the lock clamped in a vise, and when I turn the plug, the first pin stack is kind of frozen. I cannot push up the pin stack. So I have to turn back the plug again, shove in the pick all the way in to lift all the pins a little bit. And now you can see pin 1 is moving, and now I have to pick all the spools. Which are in the way. Was one spool. Let's pick 1 now. It's also a spool. And it's open, it's already open. Yeah, not a big deal if you know what to do. And pretty fun lock actually. Yeah, really, thank you very much for giving this lock to me. It will stay in my collection because of its novelty. Yeah, thanks Victor for the lock, and everybody else, thanks a lot for watching, and until we meet again, cheers and bye bye.